So, like Asta, in this episode, I wanted to understand and let people know that who are starting new as a journalist, more about journalism and how they can start
Sure.
over their careers. So, I wanted to ask you one question that whenever someone wants to become a journalist after completing their education, like in school or colleges, how do they can proceed with their career?
I think these days it's important for most organizations that you have a degree, like a BMM degree or something, you know. So I think the best thing is to do a BMM or to do,
Okay.
you know, or to do a mass media course or,
Hmm.
you know, go to one of these colleges in Bangalore and all, which a Times School of Journalism or, you know, there are many journalism schools where you can go and get a
Right.
degree now. So I think that's the path because most publications will ask for a degree now when you
Degree.
go to get even an internship. So
Okay.
either I mean I don't know I joined 19 20 years ago, so at that time nobody asked me for a journalism degree.
Degree. Yeah.
I did literature, which was good enough for them because I knew, I mean, if because I was joining an English newspaper, my language was strong. But I think that, so yeah, you have to do a course, of course. But always, I also feel most people, I've seen many interns come to, you know, newsrooms who've done the course, but they don't know basic skills because I think some things cannot be taught. So you need to read a lot of newspapers, you should read a lot of magazines, you should read whatever
Okay.
you want to get into. So if you want to write for Vogue or want to write for Grazia, then you should read those magazines and see what kind of writing goes into that.
Okay.
If you want to write for a Hindu or an Indian Express, then read those papers. If you want to write for
Okay.
a Midday or a Mumbai Mirror, so know what kind of stories a Mumbai Mirror or a Midday uh, puts out. So very important to do your own research, read a lot. And so if you read lots of articles, you'll know how to write an article. I don't think it
Okay.
can be taught in a class because you don't, at that time, you don't grasp it. So,
Right.
so read a lot of whatever kind of journal. If you want to do TV journalism, then maybe
Hmm.
watch a lot of, you know, anchors you like and see how
Hmm.
they structure their shows and stuff like that. So it's very important to do your own research and, of course, do the
Okay.
course. I think that's the
Okay.
first step. Yeah.
So how important are internships in this?
I think internships are very important because most colleges place you, give you an internship. And if you can turn the internship, you can always join those places. Most places give you, if you've done a good job, they'll ask you to stick
Okay.
around.
Okay.
You know, they might
Right.
just give you a job at the end of your internship and say, we really liked what you did, so why don't you join as a trainee, which will be your
Hmm.
first level
Stage.
of,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think internships are very important. And what you do there, obviously, they also give you, even if you don't want to work there, they will give you a nice recommendation letter, which will come in handy when you're actually looking for a
For a
job.
job.
And
Right.
they give you the experience because most internships, if there are good newspapers, they will actually make you do everything, so you'll get a hang of kya karna hai
Various
matlab. So
experience,
when,
like total
yeah,
A to
so
Z in this field.
exactly, so when you join somewhere
Okay.
else, you won't be a total rookie, you won't be a total newcomer. You'll be like, I know I've done this, and try and do internships maybe at different places. Do one at a magazine, do
Hmm.
one at a newspaper, do one at a tabloid, do one at a TV place. So you get different types of experiences.
Okay. Okay. Can you suggest us that how can we get some good internships?
I think most colleges place you.
Okay.
They have tie-ups with, so an XIC, which is Xavier's Institute of Communication, or IIMC, which is in Delhi, or any journalism college will have tie-ups with few people. And
Hmm.
newsrooms are always looking for interns because it's free labor, right? You are getting someone to do your work for
Work.
free.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, when you're still doing your course, there'll be many people, you can easily get an internship. I don't think that's a problem. Most
Okay.
places will give an internship because they don't really have to invest in you, no? They're not paying you or so. I think those are the times where you can really learn. Agree to do
Hmm.
it, do as much as you can, spend a lot of time in the newsroom so that you can get
Right.
all the experience you can from it. So it's not very hard to get an internship. Even if your college doesn't get it and you go Go to all the offices, look out their,
Okay.
take out their addresses from the internet, go and give your resume, say,
Hmm.
I want to be an intern. Most
Okay.
places are most welcoming to interns.
Okay. Okay. That's really amazing. So, like about talking about this free labor and everything, I had one question just popped it into my mind that what difference do you see in journalism in India and journalism abroad?
There's a lot of difference. I'm sure they earn much more than journalists in India. But I don't think, I think journalism in India is also quite a high standard now. There are few, of course, um, who misuse their power and have like our and run channels which are very very loud and unnecessarily loud. But there are
Right.
many great legendary newspapers. Hindu, Indian Express have done some great journalism. Magazines like Tehelka in its good times did a lot of great journalism. NDTV does a lot of great journalism. So there are a lot of journalists and newspapers and online things like Scroll, which do great quality journalism. Caravan, which is very good for
Hmm.
long form writing.
Right.
So there is no dearth of good journalism in India. I don't think there is any difference between us and a New York Times or a New Yorker, other than the fact that those places give a lot of to their long form journalists, they give a lot of time. You can work on an article for 3 months or 5 months, or some people have worked on an article for a year before it gets printed. So they give
Right.
lot of they give lot of importance to long form journalism, which in India is still lesser, क्योंकि इंडिया में
Okay.
ये जल्दी जल्दी वाला न्यूज़ लोगों को अच्छा लगता है. So I think that kind of journalism is lesser, but still everybody more. I mean, 75% of journalists, especially in the
Yeah.
English
Yeah.
realm, are quite very very good. Are very
Basically, I wanted to ask you that means that how can people decide on their niche when working
so
on
the
journalism?
there are many times interns join and you ask them what they want to write about, and they're like, I only want to write about politics, or I only want to write about the environment, and I want to save the world. ऐसा नहीं होता है. First, you have to be ready to do anything. I have written even movie timings. You used to read the newspaper to find out कहाँ
Right.
कौन सा movie है पहले.
कौन सा
पहले
show
वो
है? Right.
हाँ ऑनलाइन नहीं होता था. पहले वो न्यूज़पेपर में आता था. Used to open the newspaper to see what time is what movie. And I have
Right.
written
Right.
those also in the beginning
Okay.
of my career. I have typed those out manually to say this is the movie in this theater at this time. So do not make up your mind in the beginning of your career. Go and do everything. Report on everything. Do
Okay.
do celebrities, do sports, do crime, do politics, do city, do BMC, जैसे municipal corporation, do civic
Right.
stuff. Do everything, and then in one in a 1 year or 2 years, you'll know what you're good at, and you'll know
Okay.
that
Like basically
you
give some time.
yeah, give some time to it. You'll know what you're good at. You can build a network. You can build some contacts. कि अच्छा अभी मैं ये I do this well, so I'll build some contacts here. You know.
Hmm.
So give
Right.
yourself time as well. So don't
Okay.
just
Okay.
decide पहले कि मुझे तो बस यही करना है. ऐसे
यही करना है.
होता
Yeah.
नहीं है. हाँ.
All right.
Maybe you want to do it like so many people might want to do celebrity, but celebrity is not everybody can speak to an actor, right? It's not
Right.
you. So you have to give it time. You have to see what you're
Yeah.
good at. And you might not
Yeah.
enjoy it also eventually. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah. So talking about celebrities, like Asta, you come across with many big faces and you interview many big faces. Like I've seen your photos with Ed Sheeran as well. So like when you talk to them, how do you prepare basically?
Uh, so I think you should know, obviously, when you go to meet someone very big, you should not go unprepared, because
Yeah.
there are many celebrities who will tell you कि भाई तुमने तो पढ़ा ही नहीं है, मतलब you don't know this. You're
Uh,
asking me stupid questions. Somebody can turn around and tell you that also. You don't want to
okay.
be caught in that situation.
Yes.
So, best to read up about the person you're going to interview. Have a set of questions ready
Okay.
so that if it's very movie centric, मतलब एक movie के बारे में ही बात कर रहा है, then you can ask accordingly कि what is their role in the movie, things like that. But if it's a
Hmm.
larger interview, read other interviews of theirs, see what they've said before. You don't want
Okay.
your interview to be a repetition of all the interviews they've given before. So try
Right.
and ask some different questions. That's why there are editors also. You can always create some questions and ask your editor, do these,
Okay.
does this fit it? So research is very important before you go to meet someone. You should know what are you going to ask them, and you should know
Hmm.
about them. For
Okay.
example, I'll tell you, once I was asked to interview an economist called Jeffrey Sachs. Now, he's a very famous economist, and
Right.
but I did not know anything about business. I had no clue who he
Yeah.
was. He's written like many books about, the economy of the world.
Yes.
Like he's written books about, I think he's written a very famous book called The End of Poverty. So
Okay.
he's a big economist. Now I was like, what am I going to ask him? I have no clue what he does, what he has written, nothing. So for
Right.
2 days, I sat and read everything about him that I could. I prepared like 35 questions. Then I ran them by my editor and I said कि ये मैंने पूछा है. Then they edited कि अच्छा we only asked these 20. And then I went to meet him and I was confident enough to talk to
Okay.
him then, because whatever I was asking him, then you cross
Yeah.
question because what they answer you. And if you're well read enough and you know enough about the world in general, you can have a normal conversation with someone, be it an economist
Right.
or an actor. But
Yeah. Any.
you need to do your research. So you know what they have done. You're not asking,
Right.
like sometimes PR people call me and they're like, what do you write about? I said, then why have you called me? If you don't know what I write about, why are you calling me? Because they don't even know what I write about, but they've called me
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
to pitch a story. So
Right.
first know what I write about, then call me to pitch a story, right? So it's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Research.
Yeah. Like Asta, like coming back to the topic when we are talking about new journalism, journalists and everything. So when you see young journalists or any people who are starting new, what kind of issues or problems do you think that they are committing?
As I said, one of the problems is that they already think that they know everything. They know that they
Right.
want to write about this. They know that they just want to do this. You don't know anything until you worked in a newsroom for a while. So be
Okay.
modest, be be grounded, be ready to learn. I think most
Hmm.
kids do this mistake that they already think that they know everything. If you
Right.
knew everything, then you'd start at the top, right? You won't start at the bottom. So when you're starting out, uh, be ready to learn. Be ready to learn as much as you can. Don't take criticism the wrong way. Nobody's criticizing you because it's fun, but take it in a constructive way. See where you can improve. And one of the things that really helped me when I was starting out, I never said no to doing anything. I never said, no, this is below me. No, I can't do this. No, I won't do that. I did everything. So be eager, be enthusiastic about doing as much as you can in the beginning of your career. I think it will really help
Okay.
you in the long run.
Long run.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people then know that you're a hard worker. They know that you're not someone who's just matlab, you're committed to
Uh-huh.
being a journalist. That's a good journalist
Right.
who will never say no, who'll do whatever has to be done, and then slowly make your choices.
Okay. Totally true. Yeah. Like basically, be open to every work which has been given to you and
Yes,
try to
yes,
learn everything.
yes. Be open to learning. That's very
Exactly.
important.
Yeah. So basically, what are the type of skills that you want all the journalists to have?
I see. I think. I mean, so what worked for me was that I knew language, but I think language is very. It's not needed.
Okay.
As a journalist, there are many people who will be on a desk who will write your copy for you, who will clean your words and make it in a way that can be printed. But
Yeah.
the point of getting the information is the most important thing. It's not about
Right.
writing it, it's about getting the information.
Getting it.
Once you
Right.
have the information, it can be written by you or a third person or a fourth person, and five people can write that copy. But the most important thing for a journalist is they should know how to talk. They should not know just how to talk, they have to get information out of a person. So they should be persuasive, they should be
Right.
humble, they should know how to get information without upsetting the other person or pissing off the other person. So
Yeah.
how to, तुम्हें जो चाहिए स्टोरी में तुम उसको कैसे निकालोगे वो तुम्हारा it's your demeanor, how you talk to people. So you have to
Right.
be more outgoing, you have to be humble, you have to adapt to all kinds of situations that you're in, be it you're talking to
Mm-hmm.
an actor or you're talking to someone from a slum. You have to
Right.
you have to adapt to your surroundings, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
fit in so well that they talk to you like you're their own. I think that's the
Right.
most important thing for a journalist, is to get the information. The rest of it can all
Okay.
be worked out. So uske liye you have to work on your communication skills, basically. That's the
Okay.
most important thing.
So,
Yeah.
Aastha, can you give us some tips like how can we improve our communication skills?
Again, be very open to talking to all kinds of people. Because in your job you will talk to, as I said, people maybe living in a slum, to a government employee, a middle class government employee, to a,
Right.
to a actor, to a Salman Khan. You might be talking to all three. Now they're all very
Yes.
different people. They come from very different backgrounds. But
Backgrounds.
you should be good enough. You should work on your basically, you should be open to everything. Nothing should surprise you. Nothing should intimidate you. No
Hmm.
actor should intimidate you. You shouldn't be like, oh my God,
Okay.
I'm talking to Salman Khan. फिर तो interview गया, खत्म. Because if you are going to be like, oh my God, I'm talking to Shah Rukh Khan, then there's no interview, na? You can't ask
Okay.
them the
Yes.
questions
Obviously.
then.
Yes.
So be open to everything. Let nothing surprise you. Leave your mind in that kind of mind that gets affected by things at home. Just you have to adapt to everything. That's my biggest tip, is just adapt to your surroundings, and
Yes.
अपना mind हमेशा खुला रखो हर चीज और हर आदमी की
Right.
तरफ, basically.
Yeah. That will help you with the communications.
Yes, of course. Think
Okay.
of them
Yeah.
as yourself and then talk to them, मतलब at that level only. सब एक level पे उतर
Okay.
के you should talk. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. मतलब जिसके भी साथ you are communicating, think of yourself at that level only.
Now, if you're talking to Salman Khan, you can't think of Salman Khan as a big star. You have to think of someone who you're interviewing. He's in front of you. You're all equal,
Yeah.
and you talk to him in that way, because
Okay.
that's the way you'll be able to get a good interaction.
And I have one last question for you. I hope
Yes.
you don't mind me asking
No,
that
no,
last
please
one
ask.
question.
Please ask.
That I request you to kindly share one message, any one message for everyone to learn. It can be anything.
Stop believing everything you see on TV.
Okay.
Do your own research, put your own brain, and wait for the facts. Wait for a authority to release the right facts before you make a decision about anything. Because anything that is not backed by proper facts is just gossip. It is gossip. You can say
Exactly.
whatever you want. So stop believing in gossip. आपके neighbor ने आपको बोला उसने ये किया, उसने वो किया, वो gossip है. And it's the same way a TV channel or a fake news or a WhatsApp message might tell you कि this one did this. But how do we know? We don't know anything. It's not been proved. It's not out in the, CBI has not said anything. Government has not said anything. Police hasn't said anything. Supreme Court has not said anything. Then how do we know?
Right. Yeah,
So
exactly.
don't believe in gossip. Believe in the facts and wait for the facts. They'll come out when they have to come out.